Okay, kit review time. Today we've got Kitty Hawks. This is the T6 Texan. This is a 1/32 scale. Say something a little bit different in 1/32. As you can see, very nice box art right off the back, off the front. And then there's the versions you're actually going to get in the kit. So we've got the US one, we've got the South African one, and we've got the British one down there as well. Nice pair of decals, got a little bit of photo etch as well. As you can see on this, the kit number is KH32001. Yes, this was their first 1/32 scale kit, and there's a little bit more about the actual aircraft themselves. Some other versions, so US, German, is that the Italian, and the Canadian version. So, in the box itself, we have our instructions. So we'll have a quick whip through of this one. So down here, as we can see, you've got usual call out for your trees you're not going to be using in the various parts, although I think in this one you're using the lot. Okay, starting off with the cockpit floor, so we've got the control sticks going on there. Choice of control sticks, obviously you've got your option because you've got the American style with the sort of normal sort of pistol grip and the spade grip for the RAF one as well. Okay, we've got the seats going down in there, and then obviously internal framework being a metal skinned aircraft. Being the earlier types. Instrument panels going down in there, as you can see, your dual rudder pedals, things like that. Okay, your second bit of the framework, bulkheads, nicely little touch. So you've got your trim wheels, various things going down in there. So you're making up that internal framework for the cockpit, which is a nice touch. Okay, instrument panels all going down in there. Okay, some of the framework around the top. I think that's the cooler tank on the front, and the oil tank going down there, and then it's straight into the engine. So we've got a nice detailed engine on this one. So you've got your exhaust system going down on there, okay, and then obviously being put through, we've got the actual cylinders, and then the back wall, and then obviously all your other components, the framework for actually mounting the engine going through. It's a little bit different, that's in the middle. Okay, and then obviously inserting that and then onto the actual skin of the aircraft going each side. Some of the markings, which are in the middle of the book, which has caught me. Okay, so that's your options for your markings you can put down on this one. Okay, as you can see, so it is the Italian Air Force trainer as well, and the South African one, and then the UK Harvard, as you can see just down there. Carrying back on with the build, so we've actually got some of the manifolds and the cowlings going down on there. Okay, and then right the way through, adding all your parts, your propeller, single type propeller. Okay, the weight wheels, I'm not sure if they're weighted wheels, split hub. Okay, going right the way through, as you can see, for the gear, wings and control surfaces, right the way through, and then fitting that lower wing, big old piece lower wing system going on there. And we have a weapons fit, so you've got your normal sort of rockets, got the T10 rockets, the Matra rocket pods going down on there. Your normal sort of two 50 kilo freefall bombs, 7.7mm gun pods, or your fuel tanks. Okay, so you can arm it up if required and right the way through. Something a little bit different. So in the box, in sprue one, we got, these are done up with staples. Okay, generally looking around at it, now this is Kitty Hawks, obviously their first kit they did in 30 seconds, so we're not sure what we're going to find in here, but generally looking at the actual texture of the aircraft, okay, the riveting detail all looks to be very nice, very clean, very crisp. Okay, I'm expecting real problems with this, and I'm not seeing them, which seems a little bit. Little stress marks here and there around the actual body and construction, but generally as you're looking around it, I can't see anything really. A little bit of flash going on down the back end here, as you can probably see. Nicely on the instrument panels, things like that. We've actually got the back of the actual bezels for the dials, and all those areas have been recreated, which is quite a nice touch. Generally working our way around, I can't see any real problems with it. Say a little bit of flash. Obviously the control surfaces, they're all fabric on this with a metal construction, skinned body. Okay, can't see too many problems there. Now the actual body itself. Okay, so looking at the main sprue, I'm taking it that this should be like this, and it's not a short shot. Is that a short shot of the mould, or is it supposed to be like that? Not too sure. I'm assuming it's supposed to be like that. Okay, and the actual part going around there, so it's number 23. Okay, so just generally looking at the cylinder heads, looking quite nicely detailed. The moulding down the back here looks all okay. Got the spinner cap. The skin of the aircraft is all pretty nicely done. No problems with that. The riveting detail, it's a little bit soft, if I'm honest. It's softer than it is on the wings, so you might have a little bit of trouble keeping hold of that. But if you're doing obviously in a new metal, natural metal finish, things like that, you shouldn't really have a problem. The raised details are very nice. It's just the sunken details that are very, very soft. Okay, so we've got one of the bulkheads here with pretty much busyness going on down there. That's very, very nice. The cowlings here at the front looking pretty good. You've got ejector pins in there if you did want it open or close. On the inside, you're not going to see any of this anyway, really. But you have got some pretty chunky ejector pins to take care of all down here. So these are all going to have to come out, but generally not too bad. Okay, we have a look at the wings next. Okay, so we have a one-piece moulded section. Okay, so we have got a big old stress mark just down in the back here. Okay, but and there's a few more around it, but generally it hasn't come through. As I say, the riveting detail is very nice, but it is very, very faint. I'm just a little bit worried you might lose some of that in the actual process of washes and things like that. But generally not too bad all the way over it. The main wings, again, a few little stress marks coming out. Back of the instrument panel, the spade grip is a little bit basic, shall we say, but it's not too bad. Okay. Nice to see we've got the access panels are raised, perhaps a little too raised for my liking, but generally they're okay. The detail is there. And we've got the control surfaces on here, which are fabric. The wing is metal skinned, but the control surfaces and that are fabric. Not exactly brilliantly textured into there. You can obviously see the raised areas, but nothing you would ever shout home about. Again, some stress marks down in here, but it's all clean on the inside. That's not too much of a problem. Okay, and with the weapons fit and some more of the details. Again, one piece mould. Oh, flip that out. Hopefully they're all dead parts. Okay, so just down here we've got the wheels. So we've got various different types of wheels, as you can imagine. This is the framework, which actually looks pretty good for the actual inside. A little bit of ejector pins on them, things like that, that can need a little bit of cleaning up. Generally not too bad. A little bit of flash on some of the parts, but not too bad. A little bit flashy on these bombs, but it's quite thinly moulded down there. But those are a little bit going to need a bit of clean-up work. Okay, so you've got your exhaust system running down there. I don't know if that is the difference. The Canadian one and the British one has the longer exhaust. I don't know if this is the shorter version or the longer version that runs down the side of the cockpit. But generally not too bad. Actually, it's a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a bit of a nightmare, this, and it isn't. Okay, we've got some white stuff on here, which is, I don't know what that is. The rockets, they've got sink marks in them, so they're a little bit horrible. They're going to be taken care of if you're going to do it, but I don't know that many people who are going to arm this one. You have got some sink marks in this, quite nasty, heavy sink marks down here in the fronts of them all, on that thicker piece of moulded. Quite a nice touch, a little bit of cleanup, but you've got the rockets, have actually got rockets in there as well, and generally not too bad. Okay, but as I say, a few little sink marks, little bits and pieces down in there. The cockpit, this is all your clear parts, very nicely because it's separately boxed. Okay, having a look at the clear parts. Is it me, or has that got like a yellow tint to it? It looks like it's got a small yellow tint. Generally, I have to say the clear parts are very clear. No problems with any of those whatsoever. They are very nice. Got a slight scuff. How well the cameras will pick this up in this guy just over here. The slight scuff, but I think that'll polish out okay. But generally, for the clarity is fantastic. Very nice, very clean. Okay, last up we got the markings. How are we going to get in this without slicing it? Don't want to cut through the sheet. Hopefully we can just hoof these out. So down in here, lots of sheets, as you can see, which is lovely. So we've got a little bit of photo etch, which is quite nice. So that's our harnesses, the various parts down in there. Some of these more nicer decals, As you can see, we've got Popeye down there for the US Navy one, instrument panels and the various items down in there, which is quite a nice touch. And then the sheets themselves, as you can see, so the various markings actually all look pretty nice. Okay, we've got the carrier sheet on here, and you've got that sort of oily look underneath, but it doesn't look too bad at all. So it's nice to get a fantastic sheet. And then the black and white one with all the stencil data and the numbers and everything else. Stencil data is a little bit wobbly, if we're honest, which is a little bit of a shame, but how well the camera gets down here. But as you can probably see, these are just a little bit wobbly. I'm assuming they shouldn't be like that, but like it looks like they've already wrinkled up and done nasty jobs than before. Hopefully, as you can see with some of these, like this one down here is a little bit all over the place, and then again this one on this end, as you can see, just a little bit wobbly. I'm not quite sure it's supposed to be like that. I'm assuming it's not. But generally, you see the clarity of them isn't too bad. Just a little wobble right the way through. So there we go, that is your Harvard. As I say, if you want to do the British version, you're going to need the longer exhaust going down the side. It comes right the way down the side in the Canadian version. But generally, I have to say, for their first kit and what I was expecting, it isn't too bad.